Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there in the world. It's time for another podcast. This is our SoundTraxx Soundbites podcast, Train Talk from Milepost 141. And I'm George Bogatuk. As many of you guys may have heard the rumors, I've been here. I turned 17 years here in October.
It's amazing.
It's insane. And then over here to my left,
the new guy.
We got Rookie over here.
Rookie, yes. Tom Austin joined the team in June, the support technician.
Yes, you've been almost 2 months.
Yeah, time flies. I mean, where'd the summer go?
Oh, I'm telling you, the summer's flown by. It's ridiculous how fast the summer's
Absolutely.
gone. I mean, one of the things, and you know this, of course, is that I did 3 separate shows in July, which I love doing the shows. I don't want anybody to think otherwise. I love the shows. It's one of my favorite parts of my job is getting out and going to shows. But, man, they do take a wear on you.
They do.
Travel.
You're constantly traveling in and out, and then now we're getting ready for the next show.
Well, we're starting to, yes. Right. And we'll talk about shows here in a minute.
Yeah.
But we've got, you talk about the travel and, like, for example, heading into St. Louis, I thought I'd have a quick, easy 9:50 landing, 10 o'clock, no problem, get my bag, get my car, head out. Nope, all kinds of delays. I landed at 1:20.
Wow.
On Friday morning.
At Lambert.
And that's after the Hertz rental car place closed. So after that, it was like, well, what else do? You get a Lyft, LYFT, and you get one of those to the hotel.
Right.
And we had to be up and about. We were able to enter the building at 7 a.m. to set up. So
at the Collinsville.
At the Collinsville show. So the good news was that I didn't have to be there at 7. I could be there at 8 and still set up and be open for the show by 9, which worked out really well. But it was probably about 3 or 4 o'clock when I finally got to bed that night. It's crazy.
So it was a long day.
That's a long day.
Yes, sir.
So that's the part of the shows that nobody gets to really talk about or hear because, we're traveling and we just show up. We've got our best face on. We've got our, newly pressed shirts and everything ready to go. And
nice.
We got the show all ready for you. We got models on the tabletop and everything. And that's the part most people don't really talk about.
You're right.
So it's always a challenge when the shows work that way. And then, of course, this show closed on Saturday night, which was about 5 o'clock, I think it was.
Usually.
And then you get dinner, and then we all headed over to Ken Patterson's for the What's Neat This Week podcast that he does.
The wrap-up for the show.
So I was on that. So, guys, be sure to check out Patterson's What's Neat.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good.
It was a good show. We had a good crowd there. There's probably about 30 people in the basement there behind the camera.
You had some who's of besides you had Nick Santo there. I saw some other people that deal with Broadway Limited.
Broadway was there.
It was a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, we had a good shot. We had a good show, and but we get done with that. I think we were shooting that around 11 o'clock, and then head back to the hotel, and then get up for a 7 a.m. Flight.
Oh wow.
So
another long day.
Those are very long days and short nights.
It's like a red eye without the red eye.
Right. The positive side of flying home early on Sunday, though, was I got to I basically slept all evening. I got home. My wife was there. She went to Walmart. She works part-time at the Walmart here for the summer, and then she was there for 4 hours. So she left from 4 to 8 or whatever it was. And so I got to the house about 1:30. We talked for a little bit, sat and watched some TV. She left. I laid down on the couch, and I woke up about 9:15, saw a text from her, said, I'm leaving, and said, okay, be careful. And she was in the living room already. No. I was out, had no idea she was even home.
And then, folks, Monday morning, when George comes back in, it's like, good morning, George. He goes, that's it. That's all you get out until the coffee flows, 9, 10 o'clock, 11. Then he says, hey, what's up?
Yeah, there you go. So it does take a toll on it, but like I said, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's one of my favorite parts of the job. I love it, and one of my favorite parts of all of it is getting to meet all the folks out there. That's how we met. Quite frankly,
That's
it was
right.
at different shows like that, and so we've getting to have that conversation and being able to talk with everybody and answer their questions. I mean, because when you're shooting emails or back and forth, or you do a quick phone call, you don't really get that one-on-one demonstration, being able to see the model do what it wants to do right there in front of you.
Absolutely.
So it really is a big difference when we're there and in person. So I certainly love that. So we'll do a show roundup here in just a minute, but just wanted to kind of get around start in here really quick. So let's see. We've got some models here on the table. What do you say we talk about some models?
Go right ahead.
Yours are pretty gray.
Yeah, this is
I don't recognize that as
this is another one along the lines of our Rehab Your Locomotive series. George started, and it's kind of created we had a lot of questions, a lot of phone calls about it, even the parts list and stuff. George has now compiled that, so we do have that available for you for the parts list for this particular engine right here.
Yeah,
this is another one in that same series. So just following George's lead on it. It's of course, surprise, it's an Athearn Genesis GP15.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Now Missouri Pacific, no less. The twin ladders give it away.
Yep.
This one is how they usually start whenever I strip them. This has been stripped in 91% isopropyl alcohol, and it basically is going to be MP 1557. And the reason it is because I know all I really have to do if I want to make it. Oh, the nose comes off. Yeah. But fill these
so many jokes could happen.
these little oval cutouts, I fill those with the gap filling CA.
Yeah.
And sand those smooth. And then of course, like I said the last time we talked about G15s, which seems like that's all I talk about. But I cut the pilot off, the buffer plate off this one too, and I'll use the Athearn Genesis Jeep 38-2 buffer plate /
the
draft gear. Yeah, draft gear. But this one here, it'll be Blunami. The trucks are done, as you can see, and then the wheels have been painted on it, and then I haven't weathered the side frames yet, but this is kind of how they start.
Yeah.
When I do these kind of projects, and then of course you see the holes are drilled there in this little thingy here that goes over I don't really know what that's for.
Oh, it's just a shield to protect the flywheel.
Yeah, so we're going to put that. The wires are going to go through there and up to the decoder buddy, and then the Blunami 21 pin will fit on top, and this will allow the SoundTraxx mini cube to sit here, and if it's a scale sound system speaker, it sits back here, then I'll have two speakers in this one no matter what.
Nice. Or
it'll be the Athearn's twin sugar cube, or two SoundTraxx sugar cubes back here.
Yeah.
So one or the other, because it's going to be a 2-watt amplifier, and I got to have that 2 watts back there, or split between the two. And of course, always wired in series for 8 ohms or more.
Right.
So, but that's basically what it's going to. And I've been kind of toying with the idea of putting battery power in it. I don't know yet, but so I'm going to do some more research on that. But it's for sure going to be Blunami as I continue to convert my fleet to Blunami. Thanks to George, Nancy, and everybody here at SoundTraxx. That's what I've been doing the last couple of years. So people always ask me, like, why are you selling all these things? Well, some of the engines I sold because I decided I didn't want to put Blunami in them. Well, this is one I kept, obviously.
Yeah.
And it'll be Jinx Blue as well, Kevin. Gerald, all you guys back at the Mopac Society. True blue, baby. Anyway, so that's what I got for the show this week, and we'll it's behind 1621. It'll be finished first, obviously, because it's closer to being finished. This one will have the same George treatment.
Okay.
Class lights, number board lights, truck lights, and then basically the basic Mopac detailing package.
Nice.
I haven't decided on the spark arresters yet. We'll see how they turn out on 1621. Whether I use the Athearn ones or the Graham or the
Gotham Rail Marine
3D printed ones, which are excellent.
I would highly recommend those. Those look fantastic on the model.
Yep.
I'm entertaining the idea of going back and changing them all on mine just because they add that extra element because they are see-through.
They're nice.
And you know this now. Of course, this is probably more later in the life of the Missouri Pacific.
Right.
But a lot of times those screens were even pulled off and they weren't replaced. So you had basically the hollow opening of the casting out there.
Yeah,
you can't do that with the Details West or the Athearn castings.
John German, who was the chief mechanical officer for Mopac before he passed away, I got a chance to talk to him for an article in the Missouri Pacific Society in 2005, and he told me that the UP made it a point to remove those spark arresters once they took over the Mopac, and that's why they let them go like that, and then eventually they just came off.
Okay, so in the era of blue, primarily,
They were
always on.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
I just remember seeing, and now keep in mind, in when the Missouri Pacific was absorbed by the Union Pacific in 82, I was 9.
Right.
And so I don't remember all those details. Obviously, a lot of what I got to do is going back in history and learning stuff. But when I was in my teen years, when I really started doing model railroading, that's when I started noticing, and I was noticing that some of them were open without it. So that's why the Gotham Rail ones look really nice. But
they do. They have the Gotham has the pins across, or the bolts across the top, like the little tent like thing, and then the screen. And like I said last time, they have the bending jig or whatever for it to make your screens a width, and so you can just pop them right on there and put a little contact cement, hold them on there perfect.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. I was surprised how easy it was, because that's what I put on my Jeep 12.
That's right.
So, well,
what do you got, George?
So this is the almost finished product of the Rehab My Loco series. So I've got this SD40-2, and I'm going to, let's see here, if I can get my fingers to cooperate with me. Why is this not letting me sign into my phone? There we go.
It's the Russians.
I think so. Now it's telling me, oh, I can't recognize that anymore. What the heck? There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and screen record to one screen recording now. So I've got the SD40-2, or not the dash 2. This is the standard SD40 that we've been using in our Rehab My Loco series. So part 4 is coming. If it's not already posted by the time this posts, it should be posting very soon. Because I know all the videos shot for putting the decoder in, wiring up the lights, showing you how all that. We take it for a test drive. And I've done some basic programming to it in one of the videos, just to show you some basic things to go over. But as you can see, I've got my number boards lit up here, and the headlights, and of course the class lights on there.
Yep.
And then down below, we've got our truck lights on, or ground lights, which are on as well.
Right.
And haven't gone through and done a lot of this yet, so those ground lights, truck lights, they're still at full brilliance right now. So I haven't even gone through and changed that. I literally just changed a couple of different settings.
Well, it's good for demonstration purposes, because then you can really, in real life, you can't really see them until it's nighttime anyway.
Right.
And the way you always have your setup just right, and like right now, at least they can see if they're on.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and hand me that other camera here.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is just kind of show from the perspective here, get a close-up view. We've got our headlight, front number boards. Let's make sure we're looking at the right thing. And the front class lights are lit on the front of the locomotive. And then you can see the ground truck lights down here. Now on the rear of the locomotive, I'm going to change directions. See, this is where you can tell I haven't done much programming, because I still have directional lights on this thing.
Yep.
But we're going to go ahead and turn on the FX4, which is the rear class lights, and the rear number board. You can see how bright those things are, and they look fantastic.
They do. The font on the decals looks fantastic too.
Yeah, and that's that EMD font that I was telling you about, and you can get that at the B&O Historical Society website.
I've had a lot of questions about that, and I've directed them to that site.
Yep, and just because it is a historical society and it is available for free, I encourage you guys to leave a donation as a way of saying thank you for it.
Yeah, so they can put more information out there like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So
maintain the website.
But I haven't really done much to it other than literally just putting it together, because I just put it together. I haven't played with the equalizer. I haven't played with all the light settings, obviously. The video was basically just to kind of show you really quickly how quick and easy it is to do using the app to make some adjustments.
Absolutely.
So I've got the 645 turbo prime mover. I've got the proper horn, the proper bell, and I changed the volumes on all of them. So
Sounds great.
They're not overpowering.
It's got the 2 cubes in it?
No, this actually has the scale sound system speaker.
Okay.
What's interesting about this video was I started shooting it and put one speaker that I thought was the SD40, and then when I went to put the shell on off camera, it didn't fit and I went back and looked and realized I put the wrong speaker on it, so I had to change it out. But this is actually a scale sound system speaker in there.
Sounds great.
On the back, and he does a good job, so I encourage it. And then I did actually use one of Nick's new power keepers, his little Stay Alive.
Okay.
Because where I had thought I was going to put the Stay Alive, our current keeper, was up here by the intake, and it didn't fit.
Right.
Especially with the cab interior. Now, if I didn't have a cab interior, it would have fit.
Right.
So I fit that in there, and it seems to be working okay. Haven't had any issues, but to be fair, I've only ridden it, drove it on my table at my workbench with the DC power pack, and now here.
Right.
So hasn't done much.
It sounds great.
But it's been doing really
Looks
well.
great,
I'm
too.
real happy with it. And so I've actually decided I'm going to edit, and I'm going to add a part 5.
Are you?
It was originally going to be a 4-part. So the first part was how to take it apart, disassemble a diesel locomotive. So kind of show you what it takes to take these things apart. Part 2 was we added a bunch of detail parts, including the wipers, the traction motor cables, stuff like that you wouldn't necessarily know to look for, but it really does enhance that extra bit. We also bent some wire and stuff like that for the brake lines and things.
Yep, on the trucks.
Yep. And then we did part 3 was prepping the decoder prepping the model for the decoder. So that's where we added all the lights, showed you how to route the wires through the body shell using heat shrink tubing.
Right.
Because that acts as conduit, so everything is tucked up and away and nice and neat.
Proper wire management.
Wire management matters.
That's right.
And then part 4 was putting the decoder in, and then we're going to do a part 5 where I'm going to weather it, show just an overview of a light weathering job that you can do to it.
I can't wait for that.
Just some things like that. So really helps add the look to the locomotive. Because here, for those of you watching on video, I don't know how easy it is to see, but you can see where I touched up the paint using the True Color Blue, Missouri Pacific Jenks Blue, on the lift rings. And you can really see it, and it kind of gives a little bit of almost a glossy glow, which is weird. I didn't expect that. But when you weather it, that'll disappear. You'll never see it.
Right. I did something similar on another engine that's coming later, but I used the same thing, and I'm going to do the same thing George just talked about. I'm going to use the weathering to blend it in, but I painted where I put renumbered an engine.
Yep.
And you just got a little square there, just like they did it.
Yep.
Like you said, once you put the weather on, it'll blend in perfect.
Yeah. So that'll be part 5. Don't know when that's going to be shooting because I'm actually, as of recording this, I'm actually going on vacation next week. So it'll probably be a few weeks after, probably a week or so after I get back. So take off some time, watch the sun race across the sky.
That's right.
Sit out in there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording on the screenshot over here. And then... so the shows that we've done over the last little while have been fantastic. In July, we did the Spring Creek Model Trains Open House in Deschler, Nebraska, which is literally in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. But for inventory on their store,
it's incredible.
Oh my God, they've got so much stuff over there.
It's like the Walmart of trains, I guess, or whatever out now.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't really want to classify it like that, but it's like a department store. It's nothing but trains. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and if you're looking for it and it's fairly new product, if you can't find it there, you're not looking hard enough.
That's right. Or you don't need it.
There you go.
If Dave doesn't have it, you don't need it.
Yeah. So that's always a good thing. So check them out, springcreekmodeltrains.com. Then I went to the National Train Show in Novi, and that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of great people. And what's interesting is I met one gentleman at the show, and we were talking about Blunami. And of course, Blunami's the talk of the town, right?
Right.
And I was talking to him about Blunami, and he had been sold on some other wireless control system before. He took this home, and he's like, wow, this just blows it away. So now he's all Blunami. So he's even sent me an article as of this week that shows what he went through to do a battery. Now, he did a trailing boxcar to carry the batteries.
Right.
He's got some lithium ion, about AA size, that he put together. And that
he like his own battery pack for it.
Yeah, but he also chose an RS3, which is a low hood, which is already a challenge for decoder, speaker, and anything else in it to then add batteries. So he did a trailing boxcar. So we'll be sharing that probably online at some point. But the Novi show was great, and it was a blur. I was busy. a lot of people through the door, a lot of great conversations, a lot of great customers, and a lot of people, and I'm noticing this anyway, is more people are getting frustrated with a lot of the factory installed decoders. And they're putting their own in.
A lot of phone calls about that. A lot of guys called this so far, like last week and this week, George talking about taking out a certain decoder and putting ours in, and they want to know how to do that. And fortunately, we've got the videos on YouTube, and we've got the tutorials and tech notes and stuff on our website to direct them. And of course, when George is here, now when he's not here, it's gonna be me. So you guys, be patient. I may have to reach out and ask, phone a friend.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, we've been getting a lot of those.
Yeah, so that's really exciting, and people understand what the quality is, and when you want quality, when we put a lot of effort into making sure our decoders are quality, and whether it be operational, functionality, reliability, when it comes to SoundTraxx, built here in the USA,
right?
You can't beat it.
Right here, Durango, Colorado.
So after that, then I basically came home for a few days, and then took off to, as we talked about initially, Collinsville.
Right.
And Collinsville was a fun show. It's one of my favorites to do. Besides the fact that we're St. Louis, it's a great group of modelers. And this year, I never even got time to leave the table to go see any of the models, which was frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I love seeing the models at the RPMs. That's one of the best part.
Some of the photos were very impressive, as usual, and there's a lot of new stuff this year, too, so it's kind of nice to see that.
Yep. And, I always, whenever I do those RPMs, I always want to bring something to show, too, because, I'm a modeler.
Right, absolutely.
And it certainly helps to show off models that you're working on. But I have this conflict, because part of me wants to put them on the tables, but a lot of the effort that I put into them is for lighting.
Right.
And I can't show the models with the lights when they're on a table, on a white tablecloth.
And prototypical operations.
Correct.
Motor control, it really showcases the motor control of the decoder.
So I usually tend to leave my models on my table so I can show them off, but then they tend to get dismissed and not really looked at because they look like they're just trade show mules.
Right.
Which we bring a lot of. So
they don't, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
In first pass, if someone just walking by, maybe, but not if they stop and take a look at it.
Yep. So I brought a Jeep 12 that you guys have seen here on the podcast, and I brought my Missouri Pacific offset wide vision caboose.
Yeah.
So I brought those to show off and had a lot of good compliments. When you've done very good when somebody comes over and says, "Is that an Overland?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's awesome. Is that brass? Yeah. Exactly.
Nope. That's me.
Yeah.
All 100%.
It is a beautiful model too.
Yeah. But I will tell you, one of the best parts about the Collinsville show was I got to tease this guy right here.
Oh, well, I know.
And those of you guys not able to watch on video, what I have in my hand is the brand new Blue 1100 decoders that we'll be working on. So when we started doing the Blunami, for whatever reason, the N scalers suddenly popped up out and everywhere. It was what about N scale? What about N scale?
When are we getting Blunami?
And it was always the Bluetooth chips the size of my pinky nail or close to it.
Yeah.
Where are you fitting that on these small decoders? And we found a way. So these will be officially announced if by the time you see this or hear this video, edit, or audio, when you hear this, they'll be available or be announced, I should say, not available. We're hoping is the key word, to have them available very soon.
Right.
But that'll all come as part of the official announcement. So make sure you subscribe to the SoundTraxx newsletter.
Yep.
SoundTraxx.com. Go down, sign up for the newsletter. But look at this thing. This is tiny. It's
almost like an N18.
Yeah, it's wafa thin. Look at how thin it is.
Yeah, I know.
It's so small.
So
but I'll tell
1
you
amp,
this.
1 watt.
1 amp, 1 watt amplifier, and 4 lighting outputs. So it's just like our 1100.
Right.
It does grow a little bit in length,
right.
But not by much. You're talking about. Guys, look at the decoder here. Whoops.
I think that would go good in an NW2 that I got.
That would go fantastic in that NW2.
Yep.
For those of you guys who've been paying attention to our stuff for a while, I have an HO General, which is a 440 that was built as 1860s.
So it's going to go Blunami, ain't
so it's got an 1100 in it now, which has room on either side of the decoder. So
it's simply just unplug that one,
unplug the harnesses and plug it in.
Yep.
And we're good to go.
Yep.
So for those of you guys looking for a Blunami for smaller scales and tight fit HO applications, it's coming very soon, so be sure to check out for announcements.
Watch our website and our YouTube page, and George would be on there.
And I am so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, so you got to announce that at St. Louis.
I got to show a sign for
that
this.
That was probably the biggest announcement out there. It was,
Yep. And, it's one of those things, you don't want to rush a product to market just because. And so we didn't announce it at the National Train Show because we were still doing some final testing, making sure that this was close enough. Because what happens is, let's for argument's sake say we get through and we announce it, we rush announce it, and then we find out something's wrong in testing.
Right.
Well, then it has to go back to the drawing board and has to be redesigned. Let's say, for argument's sake, something, a particular part didn't pass and there's no equivalent, so they have to redesign the board.
Yeah, then we've got all this anticipation built up, and then
and it just takes longer. So we try to not announce it too much. But they were doing the final testing the weekend at Novi, and so at 3:00 on Wednesday before my flight on Thursday, we got the okay to take it and announce it. So real excited about that.
Yeah, likewise. It's very nice. Like I said, N-Scalers, your train has come into the station.
So check those out, SoundTraxx.com. Last thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm sure you run into this a lot, is confusion of terms.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is there's words and terms for a lot of the stuff that we talk about, and using the proper wording is important. I was talking to a friend of mine literally about 20 minutes ago, and I was trying to help him sort out some programming stuff that he was having some questions with, and he said, well, I have my water stop on CV5. And I said, no, you don't have it on CV5. CV5 is V high for your speed tables.
Right.
And anyway, the point of bringing that up is I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. It's a learning opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you're calling up or you're looking things up and you just start randomly throwing technical terms together like they mean the same thing,
right?
What he was trying to tell me was that his water stop he wanted on F5.
Right.
And he just said CV5 because to him they're a technical term. It all means the same thing to him. And that's why he's calling me and asking me, because he's confused. Because when he looks up CV5, he doesn't see water stop. He sees acceleration. Well, why is that? I don't have anything to do with, or V high or whatever it is. And so when it comes down to it, and especially, in your case where you're taking the bulk of the phone calls,
right?
You want to make sure you don't confuse this guy.
Well, that happens.
Well, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
We just changed the shade of the light, and you have no idea.
Right. I know. I don't even know where the heck I'm at. You just don't know. I had someone similar to that. It was a CV, and it was my fault, not the caller. But he wanted to know why his brake squiggling was going on, and I meant to say turn off function 11, and it was turn off CV11 is what came out. I said, not CV11, function 11.
Right.
Two different things.
Two completely different things.
And so I got it squared away and then told him, no, I mean function 11. He turned it off, no more brake squeal.
Yep. So when you're looking through the user's guide, and again, I'm going to direct you to the user's guide because the user's guide is where everything's explained. We talk about programming, what you're doing and how it works. We talk about the bit structure and how all this stuff works. Now, of course, with Blunami, you have the free app that you can do all your programming with and don't care about CVs. So then all you care about is function buttons and things like that. But when you're comparing CVs and functions as if they're the same thing, it's easy to get confused.
Right.
And so check out the user's guide, read chapter 1. I highly recommend it because at the very least, for example, on this particular locomotive, when I fire it up the first time, you hear the air dryer. If you have no idea what that sound is, you just, I don't know what it is, so you leave it alone.
Right.
But if you read that first chapter, you realize that the air dryer is a more later appliance that you would see on 90s and newer. So if you're modeling 1978, you wouldn't have air dryers on the models. You'd have the poppet valve.
That's right.
And so if you don't know what those are, you've got this model, but then people who do know realize that, he just put an address in it and run the trains. But there's so many features built in these decoders to give you that opportunity to model the locomotive down to the poppet valve.
Right. Well, just me being here 2 months, I can tell you, folks, a lot of us have not even scratched the surface of what these things can do. Mm-hmm. Like I said the last time, I went over to George's house and ran trains, and when you operate the decoder like he's got them dialed in, where it operates like the real thing, takes off like the real thing, brakes. The brakes are different for the independent brake versus the train brake. I mean, everything, the rates are different and everything. So when it's got a bunch of cars behind it, the train takes longer to stop, obviously. Well, George's got that programmed in there. But it makes a big difference on how you operate and enjoy what you've got there.
So using the CVs properly and the terms properly. So we also have a couple of videos on our YouTube channel. If you're not up for reading, we can usually help out in our webinar series. So if you go to webinar 4, it'll teach you how DCC works and what it means and how it all comes together. We show you the little green man behind the curtain.
Right.
Anybody get that reference? I keep using it, but I don't know if anybody
Wizard
even
of
knows.
Oz.
Leave a comment in the section below.
That's a hint.
Well, you just ruined it for me. But anyway, my point being is I use that reference a lot, and I just always didn't know, because I always get the funny look, so I just wanted to make sure. But anyway.
It's for you young people. That way, I just want to help you out. That's my job, is tech support to help you.
There you go. But anyway, Webinar 4 teaches you DCC. Webinar 6 will teach you all about CVs and programming and what you're doing. Webinar 7 teaches you basic decoder installation. Webinar 8 teaches you how to solder. But Webinar 4 and 6 are important. Webinar 10, 11, and 12 are also important because they take a deep dive into steam, diesel, and electric and really let you hear and understand what those different sounds that you're hearing are.
Right.
And how they work together. Because, like, say, for example, if you had no idea what a poppet valve was versus an air dryer before this video audio
or a snifter valve
podcast, or even a snifter valve on a steam engine,
right?
How would you know to adjust it? And then how do you know if your locomotive has it or is even using it? And then if there's a poppet valve rate, for example, how would you even know what you're adjusting if you don't even know what the sound is?
You don't know what it does or why it's on there.
And so it's easy to just dismiss a lot of those sounds as background noise or whatever the case is. But really, take a moment and take a look at it, because there's so many cool things that these decoders can do to really dial it in. And that's what sets us apart.
Right.
It's because you have that customizability. You know, I hear people say other brands have more customizing. Well, no, not really. They have different sounds that you can download, but it doesn't customize it. You're just changing the sounds. Guess what? We've got all those pre-programmed in the decoders.
Right.
You don't have to spend an hour or 45 minutes in front of a computer downloading sounds.
That's right. You don't, and you can change the pitch of the prime mover and get the same effect that you would get, in my opinion at least, of having two quote unquote different prime movers.
And we've talked about that here. We could take this same locomotive here. I could put a mic here, and a mic here, and get 3 different recordings.
Absolutely.
And sell it to you as 3 different recordings.
Absolutely.
Or I could even go back and play with the audio tools and
make
6 different recordings out of it. And
right.
You would be none the wiser.
Because some of them I've heard where they say 4-stack versus 2-stack, and there's not much difference at all, if any, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
Whereas you can adjust the pitch of the engine versus another one, or like we said on the last podcast, which another trick that I like what George does is this one will have a different prime mover, and it's going to have the 16 cylinder in it just because it sounds different, and then the other one's got 1621's got the 12 645. Put them together, you're going to have a nice mix right out of the box, and then you can adjust. If you got 4 of them, you could really go crazy with it.
Well, I play with equalizer on each one. I adjust it accordingly per each unit individually. So what this one sounds like may not be the same as what the other SD40 3039, the other one I have done.
Right.
They may not sound exactly the same. So,
no.
And that's good. And that gives you the tools to do it. But then there's also a friend of mine used to work, and I've mentioned this again in the past, in Argentine Yard for the Santa Fe. Kansas City. He said, George, I've tried. A GP7 sounds like a GP7, sounds like a GP7. And so perception versus reality.
Right.
And we're chasing trains as hobbyists. We're always in different environments, especially when we chase that same locomotive.
Right.
And it may sound different whether you're coming out of the urban canyon or out on the High Line or whatever it is. Those locos sound different per the atmosphere, and it gives you a little bit of flexibility to make them to your own.
Right.
But take the time to learn the nomenclature, because if you're calling up and saying, hey, I'm trying to set the water stop on CV5,
right,
that's going to, he's going to say, wait, hold on, time out. Let's back up a little bit.
Right.
What do you want to do?
Right.
Don't tell me how you're trying to do it, because that's where you get confused. And that's what tends to make it a little bit more confusing as well, is if you're intermingling terms and make it confusing and make it difficult. Because the CV, a configuration variable,
right,
allows you to vary or change the configuration or the setup of the decoder. Basically, you're telling it how to perform or how to behave.
Right. The engineers have programmed the decoder. What you're doing is picking from a list.
Correct. It's just like no different than adjusting the volume or the brightness on your television.
Right.
So don't be afraid of it. Jump in, learn the terms, and we're here to help you. Tom's a phone call away, and if he's busy, I'm here as well normally.
Yes.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30 Mountain Time. And if you call, we answer our phone.
That's right. We're here. We're here for you.
That's everything I've got. You got anything else to add?
No, it's another great day in Durango, Colorado, here with George and Nancy and everybody at SoundTraxx, and just happy to be here.
Yep, we're happy you're here. So
thank you.
Glad you're having fun and enjoying it. And I tell you what, it's been a blessing having you here. And
life is good.
Looking forward to all you can do. So with that. Well, we did forget to mention upcoming shows. I'm looking at my notes here.
Yep.
So coming up in September, we have the Colorado RPM.
Greeley.
Up in Greeley, Colorado. So you do want to subscribe to that, corpm.org. Come out and see us. And we also have the ability to come out and see the wonderful museum.
Yeah, see Michelle.
And see Michelle out there. And we've got a lot of great stuff going on that weekend. So it'll be really fun and exciting. So be sure to come out. And I say we, meaning I'm part of that committee.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure how it happened, but I'm on the committee, and so I'm in charge of clinics.
That's great.
So I'm working on that. We've got a great clinic lineup for you guys, so hopefully it'll be entertaining. And then after that, we got Train Fest coming up on the 1st of November.
Right.
So,
and in between that, it's not really on our list, but it is Missouri Pacific Society's meet in October, and that's in Marion, Illinois.
Yeah, but I won't be there.
No, if I can make it, I'm going to be down there. So.
Yeah, but you'll have to take off time.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take vacation and pull the trump card on you.
Okay,
seniority card on you.
Yeah, that's right. That's fine too. Like I said, at any rate, Train Fest November 1st and 2nd, which is early this year.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the Greeley show coming up.
Yep. So those are the next ones you'll see SoundTraxx at officially. So looking forward to those as well. So anyway, that is everything I've got. And in the famous words of Dennis Miller, that's the news. And I'm out of here. This has been another episode of Train Talk from Milepost 141. This is the SoundTraxx Soundbites podcast. We appreciate y'all tuning in, listening to us banter back and forth and harass each other a little bit, and even give away our jokes and our comments and things like that and ruin it for everybody.
Right, like the Wizard of Oz. That's the little guy behind the curtain.
There you go. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye now.